So in a fight between the car company and the clothing company won. Now what? I'm Andrei Minkov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and in this video I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw up. This time around it's an update about a legal case between Bentley Motors and Bentley Clothing, where Bentley Clothing won. So check out what happened. I'm going to start by reading from the article and then I'll provide my comments. So, Manchester clothing firm wins Bentley Motors trademark battle. I had a video about this case back in January of 2019, and I predicted that, well, I predicted two things. First, I predicted that Bentley Motors would not be able to win this on the merits, that whatever arguments they have would not work. And also I predicted that they would probably offer an amount to the clothing company that clothing company would not be able to say no to. So I was right in the sense that the legal arguments did not work in Bentley Motors' favor, and I was wrong that Bentley Motors would offer a settlement that the clothing company would accept. So let's find out what really happened. A High Court judge ruled the Cheshire Car Company had infringed the trademark rights of Manchester-based Bentley Clothing by using the Bentley name on its own range of goods. Bentley Motors will no longer be able to use the name on its clothing range in the UK. It said it was extremely disappointed and would be considering an appeal. Bentley Motors will also have to limit its future clothing range to jackets, silk ties, caps and scarves, and will not be allowed to sell other types of clothing or headgear. The dispute had been ongoing since Bentley Clothing, founded in 1962, approached the Volkswagen-owned car firm in 1998. The High Court action was launched in 2017. Bentley Motors also brought unsuccessful attempts to cancel the clothing firm's trademark rights at the UK Intellectual Property Office. So they were fighting tooth and nail with different motions, different ways to kick each other, whether it's through fighting cancellation, whether it's through filing the lawsuit. But here's the end result. Judge Richard Haken said the evidence gave the strong impression that from around 2000, Bentley Motors made a conscious decision to develop the use of Bentley in relation to its clothing range. He said the car manufacturer first began selling clothing in 1987, and that, for a time, there was honest concurrent use of the trademark. He ruled the car firm's moves in later years amounted to a steady encroachment on Bentley Clothing's goodwill in the trademark. So what really happened is that the clothing company had their trademark for Bentley for certain types of clothing, and for a certain period of time, when Bentley Motors, the car company, decided to start selling some swag, some apparel swag that bore the Bentley mark on them, there was a genuine attempt to coexist because obviously the motor company knew about the clothing company, but when they realized that they could get away with something, they started broadening the scope of product, the scope of the range of different items of apparel that they were selling. And in the end of the day, that was considered to be encroachment, and that was considered to be unlawful. So the judge said his impression of Bentley Motors' policy was reinforced by its efforts to cancel the clothing firm's trademark. Bentley clothing director Christopher Lees said, "It's been ruinous financially and emotionally, and today's decision is a huge relief." His lawyer said Bentley Motors may now have to pay damages and would also have to either hand over or destroy any items in its possession which infringe the trademark. Bentley Motors said, "We have been selling clothing for more than 30 years in the UK, and at no point has there been any evidence of confusion with another company's trademark." Now, that's of course the problem, and I said this in January, I'll say it again. It would be a case where the business would decide over law, because it doesn't look like Bentley Motors can prove their case in law. There is trademark infringement, the marks are too close, and the fact that the clothing company wants to enforce their brand, good for them. But what's going to happen in this case is that the motor company would probably need to go back and make them an offer that the clothing company would want to accept, and that would be the end of it. And the further they go into litigation, the further they go into appeals, the further they go into proving who's right and who's wrong, the higher the price will be for the car company to pay. Because, with every instance of this litigation, it's almost like adding a zero to that settlement, because guess what? They lost now. There's just so much there remains for them to do to have a fighting chance of being able to use that brand. And if, let's say, they do appeal, and let's say they lose the appeal, then what? Then there's nothing they can do, and they're not planning to stop selling the apparel. So they would have to come up with some sort of an offer that Mr. Lees is going to accept. And it gets more and more curious with every iteration. So we'll see where that goes. And if you're a small business, that's what you do. You stand up for yourself, you protect your brand, and if the big company really wants to use it, if they really want to get a license, maybe buy it out from you, then make them, put them in a situation when they have to make you that offer. So it's a good day. It's a good day for fairness. We'll see if Bentley Motors appeals. Hopefully, the clothing company still has enough funds to pay the lawyers in the appeal, and we'll see where this ends. I hope you found this video useful. Make sure you subscribe, get notified whenever the next video goes live. Make sure you like this video. If you like this video, make sure you post a comment below if you have any questions, if you have a comment, and if you got a brand that you want to protect, regardless of what industry you are in, regardless of which country you want to protect your brand, regardless of what you're planning to do with your brand, as long as you're building a brand that you hope will matter one day, make sure you go to trademarkfactory.com and book your free call with our strategy advisors. They'll help you get started on that path of securing your brand so that you own it. Until then, I will see you in the next video.